All right. Lunch is over on Spark FM online. We got TG Neff said, KN, and RG the Visionary is at work, of course, per usual. They all just be flip flopping and doing their thing, and not flip flopping. Like it's like they all take a turn going to work. But I'm grateful for them. They have been keeping the community safe in terms of what they've been doing. We need our phones on and stuff like that, or fixed. We got a person for that. We need a person at the store to fix the devices. We got a person for that. And if you need paint work, construction, we got a person for that. So everybody's really just been keeping uh being real essential since the pandemic. But who do we have here? We got somebody with us online today.
Hey, I'm Susan Shorley.
Just Susan Shirley. Where you where you like what? That's it.
Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Right. We should have dropped the bomb. Just Susan Shirley. Where's the mic drop?
I'm Susan Shorley.
You're not just Susan Shirley. People know who you are. So, well.
Awesome. No, really nice to be here. Let's see. So I'm currently the board president, and I was one of the co-founders of Exhale, which is an after-abortion counseling talk line. I'm also a mom. I'm also a survivor. And for 13 years, I worked in the city in Roxbury,
Nice.
doing work around ending domestic violence.
Oh.
So, yeah, and now I live outside the city in Norwell, in the country.
Okay. What are you the founder of Exhale?
So there were 5 of us that founded Exhale about 20 years ago. So, yeah, myself and 4 other people who had either had an abortion or knew and loved someone who'd had an abortion and felt like there needed to be a space for people just to talk about their feelings and their experiences around abortion. And so we started a talk line, and now we have a text line, and then we're having you come and help us close out our first ever virtual retreat, which ends, well, it doesn't exactly end on Saturday, but our party is on Saturday to close out our 6 weeks of cultivating reverence around our abortion stories and our bodies.
Nice. And let's see, I want to dive straight into some deep, right, you can go.
Before you do that, because you know why Sham loves to get a little ahead. There's a question we love to ask on
Boom.
here on Lunch is Over. We want to know, what is your favorite thing to eat?
That is such a good question. Honestly, macaroni and cheese.
Wow.
It's not what I have every day, but if I could, I would. It's so good.
Are we do like a baked or like a box? What kind of mac and cheese?
Yeah, I mean, I love the Kraft macaroni and cheese box, but my grandma made the best baked macaroni and cheese that I loved. I have no idea, all the stuff she put into it, but it was always super creamy and cheesy, and I loved it.
I feel like the grandmas always know the best mac and cheese.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, if you want a good bacon mac and cheese recipe, we got to ask grandma.
That's right.
So with this work, why is this group important to, I don't know, to be out there? I don't speak on any of my friends' experiences, so that's why I was like, oh, like I'm DJing this event, and then I really looked. I was like, we should actually be talking about this. Like, wait a minute. Like, hold on. And then I don't want it to come out like, you DJ for who or what? But
Right.
I am just so open to all groups, orgs. I have, again, people just with all type of experiences. And I think that, I'll say from my experience, like from the Black community, that it's like, I don't say, what's the word, a taboo, but like, we know somebody, but it's like not a comfortable thing to talk about because of you never know how. I'm not the experienced person to speak it, so don't judge me.
No, it's all good. Yeah.
But like, how do we, I don't want to say normalize the conversation, but not make others feel awkward about it if they did bring it up, and you just keep, I don't say keep going about your business, but there's days that I know people think about it. There's some people I know who don't think about it, but on the flip side, I'll say, like, as friends or as a person who has not experienced personally on my, like, my end, I don't know. I just wanted to bring the conversation to to life
Yeah,
in a
I mean,
more
I
different.
think yeah, I think that's the best thing to do is just to for us, I think the opportunity to get to talk about why we do what we do is so important and just to open a conversation around abortion because honestly, nobody wants to talk about abortion. You know, we want to fight about it. We want to say what we think about it. We want to say what we think other people should think about it.
Right.
But we don't want to talk about, you know, our personal experiences necessarily publicly because it does feel like you will get shamed and stigmatized and shut out from your community. And I think that's, I mean, we're seeing that right now in general. I think in the political world right now, you know, you're either on one side or the other. And we don't like you if you're on one side, and we're not sure about what we think about you if you're on the other either. And I think that that is the division that people who have abortion experiences also feel. So, you know, we support people who've had abortions in their bodies. We support people who are partners and friends of people who are having abortions. We just listen to people. We listen to clinic workers. We listen to abortion doulas. Anybody that reaches out to us that wants to process their feelings around abortion. That's why we're here. Because, you know, I think honestly, we're just sadly so divided in this country around reproductive health in general, like who should be a mom, who shouldn't be, who's allowed to be a parent, who's not. And then any decision that we make about our bodies, especially women and trans people and queer people, like any decision that we make, everybody thinks that they should have a say
Right.
over what decisions we make. I think immigrants, I think people of color as well. I mean, that's the way it goes down. And we really feel like, no, this is a space where you get to talk about what makes the most sense for you, how you feel about it, and how you're going to move forward in your life, you know, having this experience, however you feel about it.
Do you work primarily in, I don't, you don't got to put like the age group out there. Do you work with youth more? I don't know, like 18 to 25, 25 to, I don't know, what do they have on the brackets when you can fill them out? Like they be doing the
Right,
most.
exactly.
Like
Which
after
level?
25,
Right. It's just whatever, like
age
everything.
matters now.
Right, right.
I think all over the map. I mean, I definitely feel like a lot of people who hear about us are in that younger age group. And a lot of people reach out to us many years post abortion. So we definitely hear from people that, you know, their abortion was 10, 15 years ago and something has happened, whether it's a conversation in their church or in their synagogue
That
or
triggered.
politicians, and all of a sudden it starts bringing it up. Yeah.
So on top of that, like a part A, B, do you work just with the like the females, like the women X, like, or is it like how do males play a part in your? Because I'll say I'm gonna be honest, my show is heavily male, so I try to like bridge the gap and like not be biased, but
Yeah. I think that a lot of men have a lot of feelings about abortion, obviously. I mean, I think all of us do. And I mean, our first hotline caller was a dad who was calling us. I mean, this was, 17 years ago, who was calling us to say that his daughter was having an abortion and he wanted to know how to support her. And then he was also calling to talk about his own feelings, about his daughter's decision and get support around that. So, I mean, we really follow the lead of whoever reaches out to us. We're not here for one gender or one gender identity or expression. We're here for anybody that wants some support and wants to just be listened to about their experience. And I mean, I know that my now ex-husband, he had a lot of feelings about our experience of abortion, and he needed a space to be able to process that. And I'm glad that Exhale provides that space for men and for folks who haven't had abortions in their bodies.
oh,
Yeah, I really feel that like when you said that, because I feel like some men like need that safe spot because they don't have that chance to feel like vulnerable about a situation like an abortion, because it's very vulnerable, and a lot of times men can't express that as much as they would like to.
I agree with you. I mean, as I mentioned, I worked in the field of domestic violence before this, and I feel that same way about domestic violence, both as male survivors who want to talk about their experience and get support, as well as men who have caused harm and they're wanting to work through that and figure out how they want to change things for themselves moving forward. I mean, people who cause violence and abuse or experience violence and abuse have a ton of feelings that they need to process, and we don't really create a lot of room for that. And so I think it's important. And that's why Exhale has always been committed to being a space for anybody that reaches out to us to talk about abortion.
When starting this organization, was there any like pushbacks? Like, was there anybody outside like, this is not happening? Or like what we seen yesterday, stop the count. I don't know. Like, okay, no, I just wanted to, good job. I was like, are y'all serious right now? Like, wait, okay, it's cold outside. Like, it is cold.
I know. What a sad time we're living in. Yeah. Yeah, we still have a lot of pushback. A lot of people in the pro-choice world and in the pro-life world don't understand the work that we do, because we're not here to take a political stand. I mean, obviously, we all that are on the text line and do this work, we all have our own political backgrounds and beliefs, and our own experiences. And that's not why we're here. We're here really just to create space for people to be able to process and to be listened to without judgment or stigma. But yeah, there's a lot of people that don't like what we do or don't understand what we do or why there needs to be a space for it. And I think that, when people hear about us, like in this conversation, and I feel like when we talk with people that don't ever think or talk about abortion, first reaction is, oh my gosh, that's such an important service that you all provide. You know?
I can't wait to edit this episode. I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
Yeah, people need to know about us, and I think that that's one of our challenges is just making sure that, our marketing is great and also shows the representation of everybody that we serve, and the people know that we're here as a resource. And the pandemic has been really intense on many of the people who have texted us. People accessing abortion, it's been really hard. I mean, this administration has been hard, but then on top of that, the pandemic. And those kinds of conversations and sort of that rhetoric just makes people feel like, I don't need to take care of myself. I just got to keep pushing through. And the fact of the matter is we all need care, and we all need respect, whatever feelings we might have about our abortion experience.
Are there any groups or programs you all work closely with, like hospitals, like shelters, and yeah? Yeah,
we work with the Planned Parenthood clinics. I mean, some of the Planned Parenthood clinics give out our information across the country. So we were founded in California in the Bay Area. And so that's where most of our primary relationships are.
Okay.
But we are connected with Planned Parenthoods across the country and independent clinics, many hospitals, Brigham and Women's, Beth Israel, MGH.
Oh, wow.
All of them have all of our information and give it out to folks too. And we do offer texting in Spanish and in English. And this retreat has also been in Spanish and English. Yeah.
Nice. I don't know if we can get this translated in Spanish, but I'll ask one of my friends. But
yeah, it's always good to let people know.
You got any questions? You got any?
I just more of just. It seems like sometimes I feel like I was thinking about when you were saying you still have people that just like oppose you guys a lot. It just seems like what you said earlier. It's just like they don't understand and they want you guys like to pick a side, and it seems like they want to just group you to the side that's all about not pro-life. It's just like I don't know why it has to be that and it's not just that. Like we said, keep saying earlier, I keep hopping back to that safety spot,
right?
That safety area. Like I feel like you guys can go to.
Yeah, I mean, we all need it. And I think, the debate around abortion was like a deliberate part of the effort of, really right-wing Christians, that they poured a lot of money into this fight and divided up the country in the 70s and 80s, and I think when we look at what's happening right now, it's very much the same around the integration of that between like the religious right and white supremacy, and all that is wanting to shut people down, wanting to shut people down based on their identity and their experience, and definitely shutting down a conversation around abortion. And what we want to do, and I think what most humans want to do, is create community that is combating that reality and actually creating space for people to listen to one another and to be in the mess with one another, and to know that we're all going to figure it out in our own ways, and whatever way we end up figuring that out, that's the right way. There's not one right way.
I'll leave you with this last question. Is there any advice that someone gave you along the way on this journey with this work, with yourself, just anything?
That's such a good question. I think, that I had 2 abortions. I don't usually talk about both of them, but here we are. I had one when I was in college, and then I had one after I had my only son. And I feel like the reality is those 2 experiences are very different from each other. I was sort of like sure and definite about my decision when I was in college. I was not as sure and definite about my decision when I was already a mom. I think that for me, it's okay to show how much grief you might have, how much sadness you might have. And it's also okay to know that you made the right decision in the moment. And that both of those things can be true. Right. I also think my experience of abortion was very sacred, and that's not something that I hear anybody ever saying, really. And I don't mean that it was, I guess what I mean about it is that it was a real intimate connection for me and God, and what I needed to do to move my life forward in a way that felt right to me. And that is like a message that I feel like I want to share with other people, is that is possible.
I so respect you, appreciate that.
Yes, thank you for sharing that with
that
us.
was deep. Thank you.
Yeah, totally.
Definitely. Well, I'll be seeing you on Saturday, not in person, but virtually again. And thank you so much just for coming on the show. I know it was like last minute. I hit you up maybe a couple of days ago, and you
totally
just, like,
great. I'm sorry I couldn't get other folks to come, but I'm so glad that you were willing to do this. And I can't wait till Saturday.
Perfect. This is perfect. And I will send, once I edit the audio and have it uploaded to like Spotify and stuff, I'll send that back to you. But right now, I'll send you this link back within an hour, because I'm just going to do little edits to it on YouTube, and then we'll see what happens.
Sweet.
All right.
Y'all take care. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.